Welcome everybody to the Morning Wood Podcast. I'm Dom, and this week we're going to be going over college football, NFL, fantasy sports, and NHL. For this week, joining us for our college football segment, I have my dad.
How you doing?
And yeah, let's hop right in. Let's start off with last week, college football, with the big games of the week. We had number 15, Miami, beating an unranked NC State, as we know. It was a pretty blowout of a game, 41-7. Mark Fletcher didn't really play that much. He didn't play at all, actually. Gerard Pringle was really our running back one, carrying our team for the past, 2 weeks it's been.
Right. C.J. Daniels out.
C.J. Daniels has been out as well. So it's really been Gerard Pringle and Shamar Brown. Carrying Lyle bit. Carrying our run game. Gerard Pringle, 17 carries, 116 yards, no touchdowns. Our rushing touchdown of the game came from Shamar Brown. Another impressive week from Carson Beck, although he was going against NC State. Not that good of a defense, but is to note, he went 21 for 27, 291 yards, 3 touchdowns, and big for our receiving, a guy that really doesn't get that many catches, that many targets, Keelan Marion, 7 receptions, 96 yards. He's usually in the mix, but doesn't really get all that much.
With the injuries the past couple of weeks,
of course,
the Hurricanes have been spreading the ball around a little bit. You're seeing a little more of JoJo Trader and a couple of the other guys that
Josh
Moore, guys that you didn't see at the start of the season too much,
right,
who are now role players and filling in the gaps and doing a very good job.
Yeah. And then 2 receiving touchdowns from Malachi Tony. He went 5 for 54. Then another receiving touchdown for Elijah Lofton, our tight end. He went 1 for 29. Is to mention, Ruben Bain was also out this game. Our leading defenseman was Akeem Mesidor. He had 5 total tackles, 3 solo, a sack, and 2 TFLs. What else could you ask for?
No, definitely the defense, 100%. Huge increase over last year. The last 2 weeks, they've been monsters, holding opponents to, less than 2 scores in the entire game.
Right.
Jason Taylor's got that front line playing vicious with the sacks and the rushes and the pressure, tackles for a loss.
Yeah.
There's one thing that is notable about last week, other than Malachi Tony's offensive receptions, is his passing yards. Because he threw some balls, and a kid who played quarterback a little bit in high school, stepped in when he was needed at the quarterback position, and we've been using him
more and more
in the past couple of weeks for some trick plays.
Yeah.
He's thrown some touchdown passes.
Yeah. And he was also, like you said, with the trick plays, it wasn't, not sure I don't think it was a touchdown pass, but he threw a 43-yard pass, and the guy got tripped up at the 5-yard line.
2 weeks ago, he threw a touchdown pass to Carson Beck.
Yeah.
And to Maggiola.
Yeah. So, like you said, he's getting more and more touches at the quarterback position as
Baby Jesus is the real deal.
Baby Jesus. Then also we had number 9 Notre Dame beating number 22 Pitt. That win for Notre Dame knocked Pitt out of the top 25. So, anything on that?
No, I mean,
good for us because
don't get me started on Notre Dame. I've got that coming.
All right. Good. It's good for us because Pitt lost during the ACC. We could use, the help. Then we had number 4 Alabama beating number 11 Oklahoma. Actually, no, Oklahoma beating number 4 Alabama 23-21. That was a really good game. Ty Simpson, he didn't really play all that well. Did an interception. He went pretty 50-50 on completions and attempts. not that big of a throwing game. It was more of a running game for Alabama. And Oklahoma was really tight on the passing game for them. And also, their quarterback, John Mateer, at the start of the season, everyone was really high on this kid. Oh, he could be Heisman and stuff. But as the season went on, talk kind of really died down. But he's been proving himself more and more. So maybe we'll see. And then we had number 10 Texas versus number 5 Georgia. Number 5 Georgia winning, obviously. And that's pretty much it for.
Those are to be expected. Those wins. That's nothing. Nothing huge. Nothing upsettable.
Right. And the score of that game was 35-10. Yeah, it's Georgia. So let's get into our big games this week. I know you got some written down.
Yeah. So started off this week. I want to kind of name this segment as Who Could Help the Hurricanes.
Who could help the Hurricanes?
Of course, the number one person to help the Hurricanes is
the
Hurricanes. Okay.
Right.
And I'm wearing my number 11 is obviously a Ken Dorsey jersey. However, it's relevant for Carson Beck. As much as you might like him or hate him, he is our quarterback. We have to rally behind him. He is what we have to finish this season out, and he's our chance. It is what it is. That's what we got. So let's back him. Let's get behind him. Right? And we're wearing the camouflage hat because I do feel we're at work with the college football poll rankings.
Yeah.
And I don't believe Miami's getting any love or as much love as maybe we should.
As they should, right.
So let's dive into it. On the national level for the CFP, for the polls, the first game we're going to look at is we're looking for Missouri to pull an upset against number 8 Oklahoma. Okay, Oklahoma's a 2-loss team, and an upset by an unranked Missouri, that'll push them out.
22 Missouri. 22.
Or did they step into? Okay,
yeah, they're
still
22 Missouri.
Okay, a huge upset, and that would push Oklahoma out of Miami's way.
Right.
The next game we would be looking for a Kentucky to come in and beat number 13 Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's another 2-loss team.
Yeah.
An unranked Kentucky beating Vanderbilt will definitely take Vanderbilt off of Miami's heels.
Right, and I'm not sure. Kentucky's not really that much of a bad team. I'm pretty sure they're pretty mid, like 5-5 or like 4-6.
Yeah, there's a chance. There's a chance.
Yeah, so it's not like completely out of the question.
Right. Our next game, which is a huge one, is Syracuse. We're looking to go over number 9 Notre Dame, who we all know is a number 2 loss or is a 2-loss team. And that Syracuse group, I mean,
they're 3-7, but they're strong.
They're in every single game.
Yeah.
Look at Miami playing them a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Although we won, the halftime was a tie game, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty close to it.
And Miami just dumped it in at the end, but for 3 or 4 scores in the second half to stretch the lead out. But Syracuse played tough, and I think they could jump up in surprise Notre Dame.
Yeah.
But enough on that Notre Dame. We'll get to them.
We'll get to them.
Next, we're looking at Kansas State to come in over number 12 Utah.
Yeah.
Utah, another 2-loss team.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, this with an unranked Kansas would put them out.
Utah's number 12, aren't they?
Yes, 12. Number 12. And it's a little upsetting because Utah at number 12, I think is a sham.
It's BS.
If you look at Utah's wins and strength of schedule,
yeah.
Come on, we're number 12.
Yeah.
Come on, as an 8-2 team.
Yeah.
No way.
And also, once again, who they're playing against, Kansas State. It's not like it's not likely to happen. Kansas State is also another mid-level team. They're like 5-5, 6-4.
Every week, Utah's team opponent is a mid-level team. That's who they are. That's their record. 8-2 is built on mid-level teams.
Yeah.
They're not slamming any doors on any.
So this is a very possible win.
It's a very possible win. The next one which is also really big, is the unranked Cincinnati over number 11 Brigham Young. So BYU is a one-loss team. However, to be a two-loss team with an upset to Cincinnati would boost them from 11 to probably out somewhere in the 20s.
Well, so Cincinnati, up until either last week or 2 weeks ago, they were ranked. They've been ranked for a while this season. I think for 7 straight weeks they were ranked. So it's, like I said, it's not unlikely for this upset to happen.
Yeah, and to me, BYU is another Utah with this soft schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not playing.
Well, it's also not that much of conference, or what, the Big 10 or the Big 12?
Yeah, the conference play is minimal.
Yeah.
And then our last national spotlight game is going to be, we're looking for number 7 Oregon to go over number 15 USC. And the reason why is USC is a 2-loss team, and they're creeping up behind Miami. If they beat and upset a number 7 Oregon, they could very well leapfrog the Hurricanes into the top 12.
And Oregon would also be fighting with us as a 2-loss team as well, and we don't want that.
I'd rather Oregon just stay where they're at number 7 and win
winning.
And keep the competition off our back.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's where we're at on a national level.
Let's get
now,
to the ACC.
On an ACC level, these games are really, really important because although you would find it hard to believe, Miami finishes their season with 2 ACC teams, Virginia Tech and Pitt.
Right.
And in the big picture of the ACC, which is pretty wide open, although Miami's at number 5 in the ACC, the 4 teams ahead of them are one-loss teams. However, let's get to that, because right off the bat, this week we've got Pitt playing Georgia Tech.
Right.
Okay? Georgia Tech is a 6-1 in the conference, 9-1 overall. Okay? Pitt is, the ranking doesn't really matter when it comes to the ACC.
Right.
It's interconference play.
Right.
But that would put Georgia Tech as a 2-loss team at 9-2.
Right.
Okay? That puts them basically more on Miami's level with 2 losses in the conference. Okay? You got number 2 Virginia, and they're still a one-loss team, 9-2 overall. They don't play anybody this week. That's an ACC opponent. So whether they win or lose, it's not conference play. It's not going to make a difference. Okay. Number 3 Pitt is 5-1 in the conference, 7-3 overall. Again, they're not playing an ACC opponent. And it's not really going to...
Who'd you say?
Pitt.
They're playing Georgia Tech.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said that. Yes. You're praying for it. Yes. Pitt's 5-1.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're looking for them to beat Georgia Tech. And although that's going to strengthen Pitt's schedule, spoiler alert, Miami plays them next week.
Right.
So we can...
Right after they beat Georgia Tech, we beat them.
Sounds great. So in the number 4 spot is SMU, who's 5-1 in the conference, 9-3 overall, and they're going to play a really, really strong Louisville team, who we already know can ruin your day.
Yeah, both of them beat us. So
right, both teams. So for Louisville, who's already out of the conference hunt, to hand SMU a second loss. So SMU would be a 5-2 in the conference and a 7-4 overall.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure in conference play, it's conference record, then it's overall record, and then it's head to head.
Right.
So if they're a 2-loss team at 7-4, they're dropping behind Miami.
Of course.
Whether they beat us or not. And then obviously we have Miami, who is 4-2, 8-2 overall, and
going up against Virginia Tech.
Interconference play. So Miami could be 5-2, and with that SMU loss, they're 5-2, and then Pitt over Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech 6-2.
Right.
So it is a lot of room this weekend for these conference teams to be 2-loss teams. It's very possible by the end of the weekend
for Miami,
for Virginia to be the only 1-loss team.
Right.
And then when you go to that overall record, with Miami 2 losses coming in at 9-2, that would put us in the ACC championship as of now against Virginia. I'm sorry. Georgia Tech would be a 2-loss team and also 9-2 overall. Right. So, that would be, but that would round out Georgia Tech's conference play at 6-2, 9-2 overall. However, I mean, let's just face it, not to jump ahead, Georgia Tech has a guaranteed loss next week in the final week of the season against Georgia. Interstate rivalry. So maybe Georgia Tech is a 6-2 conference with a 9-3 overall.
Right.
And that would also put them behind the Hurricanes, considering that the Hurricanes win out.
Now, here's what I'm considering here is a Georgia Tech beating an unranked Pitt this week, right? And then going into Georgia next week and beating them. Because I feel like that could happen.
Yeah, the problem with that is, I mean, that's the segment's called Who's Going to Help the Hurricanes?
Right.
That's not going to help the Hurricanes. Because that's going to probably end up with a Georgia Tech, Virginia ACC championship game.
But we've seen before, just because you don't win your conference doesn't mean you're not going to make the playoffs.
100%. Miami is in front of Virginia and in front of Georgia Tech overall, based on strength of schedule and based on our record.
Yeah, in the college football playoff.
In the college football. But, let's say Georgia Tech beats Pitt, and then Georgia Tech upsets Georgia. They become a 7-1 conference play with maybe an 11-1 overall. They're leapfrogging Miami.
Yeah.
That's a done deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So let's go Pitt.
Right.
Is what we're talking here. Let's go Pitt, and let's keep it positive. Pitt's one of those teams that can put it on you. They did not play very well last week against Notre Dame, but they're not to be overlooked.
For sure.
So the last segment, and if you're on social media at all with sports and college football,
for sure,
you have seen the hype all week long and the debates back and forth over the Miami Notre Dame dilemma. So let's just break some of that down. In week one, you had a number 13 Miami Hurricanes upset a number 9. Oh no, I'm sorry. I stand corrected. You had a number 10 Miami Hurricanes upset a number 6 Notre Dame, 27-24. However, that score is not indicative of the game. Notre Dame threw a couple fourth quarter touchdowns to make it a little more respectable. Right. Miami had a 2-point lead most of the game. A two-score lead. A two-score lead between 10 and 14 points.
Yeah.
For a majority of the game and dominated on both sides of the ball.
Right.
So right off the bat, you have Notre Dame now at number 9 as a 2-loss team, but in the head-to-head, you got to go with the team that's head-to-head is Miami. So then, more notable also is let's go over the wins. Okay, right. So Miami's big wins is in week number 3, you have number 5 Miami, who goes over number 18 USF, 49-12. Huge victory over a top 20 opponent. Ranked inside the top 20. Okay?
Yeah.
And that same week, okay, you ended up getting a number 8 Notre Dame, because they dropped from number 6 after we beat them. You got a number 8 Notre Dame team that got upset
again,
41-40 against the number 16 ranked Texas A&M. Now, granted, Texas A&M right now is
number 3.
Number 3, and I believe unbeaten still.
Yeah, they're undefeated.
However, at the time, they were number 16. It is an upset loss. So both of Notre Dame's losses were upsets, and they were
close games.
No, I mean
moderately close.
41-40, 27-24. So Notre Dame's got losses against ranked opponents, and they're close. Okay, and then let's jump up to week 6, because that was a number 3 Miami team coming in on the road, one of the biggest rivals in college football.
All of college football
against
history.
the number 18 in Florida State in Tallahassee, and Miami pulls it out on the road 28-22. Another game where going into the fourth quarter, I believe it was 20.
Yeah, we were
24-10 or
we were winning by a large margin.
Another game where we had a 2-point lead or a 2-score lead the whole game.
Right.
And they just dumped a few on the fourth quarter. And that, I don't think that it hurts us that it wasn't a big lead. However, it ended up hurting us down the line, because that was Cristobal and Dawson getting letting up, getting a little conservative late in the game, and it came back to hurt us in our losses.
Right.
So the Miami losses, let's go over. Okay, when we were number 2 at that week of the season, we lost to an unranked Louisville, 24-21. Horrible game. A game that was winnable. A game that Miami had the lead in. And, to hold the Louisville offense to 21 points, I thought wasn't bad. To 24 points, I thought wasn't bad.
Considering at the time, their offense was also one of the top in the nation.
Of course. They've got a lot of great players, and Miami needed to put more than 3 touchdowns on the board. And that's where that conservative play comes back to bite you in the second half.
Well, so Carson Beck, I'm pretty sure, threw an interception.
2 interceptions.
Yeah, an interception or 2 in that game.
A couple interceptions, not his best game.
Right.
And then Miami's other loss was when we were number 2 to an unranked SMU, 26-20. Another game that Miami was ahead.
Favored.
With a decent lead.
Yeah.
10 points, I believe, maybe 14 points at one time.
Yeah.
And they got conservative, and SMU pulled it out in the last half of the fourth quarter. So my argument with it is that when you're listening to these college football poll analysis guys, they're saying that Notre Dame's losses are more impressive.
They're stronger losses.
So, I don't know. We're playing football for a win, not a loss. I don't care if you're losing to, a Division III school.
Right.
A loss is a loss.
Right.
Anybody can beat anybody on any day.
Right.
So you lost to a ranked opponent, so it's not so bad? No, it's still a loss. You're a 2-loss team, and it's as simple as that. Who you lost to doesn't matter. And the other thing that bothers me is that they're talking about the loss strength. They're not talking about the win strength. Miami started the season, right? Upset victory over number 9 Notre Dame.
6.
I'm sorry, number 6 at the time, Notre Dame. Week 2 is Bethune-Cookman, nothing special. Number 3, in-state ride, game 3, in-state rival against the Florida Gators, who started the season ranked number 13 and had a rough start.
Rough the entire year.
Right, and they had a rough start, so by the time we saw them in week 3, they were unranked.
Right.
And then, Miami gets in week 4, another huge game is Miami beating number 18. I'm sorry, Miami beating, at the time, number 18, USF. So Miami's big wins are a number 9 ranked opponent, a number 18 ranked opponent, and then the week after that was a bye, and then our 5th game against Florida State was ranked 18 at that time. A Florida State team who opened the season upsetting the biggest field rush in college football history against Alabama. You know what I mean? So you got an FSU team embarrass Alabama. They were hot. Right now they're garbage, but they were hot at the time, coming off an Alabama win, ranked number 18, and Miami beats them up in their home stadium. So these guys are arguing strength of losses. How about strength of wins? Notre Dame hasn't beaten anybody that was ranked inside the top 20. Their top games are 22, 23, 24 ranked opponents.
Right.
Okay? So you're beating guys that are barely hanging on to a ranking.
Right.
And, I don't care about the losses. Right. You know what I mean? I care about the wins. And it's just a typical let's screw with Miami. Notre Dame, the Catholic boys are the favorite. Join the conference. Because I'll tell you right now, Notre Dame's an ACC team. They're not 2 losses.
Nope.
Okay? They pick and choose their schedule because they're independent.
Yeah.
And it's a patty cake schedule.
And if they're in the SEC, they're definitely not a 2
And in the SEC they're 500. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's kidding me?
Yeah.
Playing teams in there? Yeah. So the Miami and Notre Dame do have one in common opponent over the season, which was NC State. Happened to be very close. NC State was unranked against both games. Miami beat them 41-7, and Notre Dame beat them 36-7. So both impressive wins over an NC State team.
Right.
That's the only comparable.
Well, no, sorry to interrupt.
It's the only comparable game right now. Next week when Miami plays Pitt, okay, that will give us another comparable game of in common.
Right. And to play devil's advocate here with Notre Dame, not only are their losses stronger than ours, but also their offense is top in the nation. Their offense is scoring one of the most points in the entire country, and their running backs are leading in the top 5 for rushing yards. So it's not only that their losses are stronger, they have one of the best offenses in the country.
So one of the other things that the analysis are saying is that the head-to-head Miami over Notre Dame hasn't taken effect yet as a factor, and that is because Miami right now is outside the top 12 at number 13.
Right.
Once Miami comes inside the top 12, Notre Dame at number 9, let's say Miami at 12 or 11,
I see what you're saying.
There'll be a close enough proximity to where the head-to-head will come into effect. So they're basically saying, hey, Miami fans, don't lose your minds yet because you got 2 weeks to go.
Well, it's also because only the top 12 make it into the playoffs. So teams outside the top 12, they're not going to take into consideration.
Right. So basically, Miami, obviously not jumping ahead, but finish with 2 wins over the next 2 weeks, which would put us on a 4-game winning streak.
Right.
So let's say you're 10-2 with a 4-game winning streak.
Right.
You're giving a strong performance because the last 2 wins, the NC State win and the Syracuse win, were big wins. Favorable scores. So, you're coming in hot. You're coming in with a 4-game win streak. Hopefully, knock on wood, coming in with a 4-game win streak at 10-2. Maybe playing for the conference, maybe not. Okay? And let's say Notre Dame's rolling in. Let's say they pull it out.
Right.
And let's say they're rolling in at 10-2. Let's say Notre Dame stays at, what are they, number 9? Let's say they stay there. If Miami creeps up to 11, 12, 11, somewhere in there, some of those national games we went over with upsets, pulling some of those teams out, you never know how high both Miami and Notre Dame could climb.
For sure.
But we just need to get ourselves to the point where the head-to-head win ends up in our favor, where it becomes a factor. It's not a factor right now. Right. So, go Miami. You know what you got to do. It's last year we got screwed at 10-2 with the number 1 offense and the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft at a quarterback, and we got robbed. And we were at the Pop-Tart Bowl. And, you're a 10-2 team with the number 1 offense in the country, and we missed the ACC game, and we missed the playoffs. And I just feel like...
We lost the Pop-Tart Bowl too, right?
So we were winning the Pop-Tart Bowl, and then Cam Ward sat himself out at halftime.
Because he didn't want to get injured.
He didn't play the second half. He basically...
did Restrepo.
He basically came out and said, let me show you what we can do. Put us in a nice lead at halftime.
Yeah.
And then we went with a backup, Emory Williams, I believe, at quarterback for the second half, Emory's a nice kid. Not ever going to crack the lineup as a starting quarterback at the U. So I just think that, I don't even look at the bowl game. Miami got robbed, and
it wasn't us at our best.
It was for the first half of the game. The second half of the game, it wasn't.
Right.
And obviously, with that quarterback, he's game changer.
Right.
You know what I mean? Game changer. We definitely don't want to end up in the Pop-Tart Bowl this year.
Right.
With or without the ACC conference game, I think 10-2 this year with our strength of schedule. I think we make it in. Where we end up, I don't know, but I do think we make it in. And going back a couple weeks, you got to remember Cristobal and Shannon Dawson, somewhere in the fourth quarter of the game, involved in a screaming match with each other on the sidelines that did make it onto national television. And you had to wonder, was it Cristobal frustrated with Dawson's call play?
Right.
Or was it Dawson frustrated with Cristobal taking over and being conservative?
Right.
And we don't know. Obviously, we're not going to get that answer. We could probably ask Michael Irvin because he's on that sideline nonstop, and that guy's he's plugged in.
He's jacked.
On
something.
But I'm going to look at, although it was embarrassing on national television for that to happen, it obviously
did
put a spark in those two.
Kicked them up.
Because we have not been conservative 2 weeks in a row.
Not at
we
all.
have kept our foot on the gas.
Yep.
Okay, and I mean, in the NC State win, we pulled quarterback.
Carson Beck.
We pulled Carson Beck in the fourth quarter.
Put Emory in, he went 2 for 2.
Yeah, and then after Emory, they put in this kid Nickel.
Right, yeah.
Who's a true freshman who's basically sitting around. He'll be redshirted. He'll compete next year.
Right.
Who knows what Miami's going to do? Are they going to go out in a free agent and grab a transfer portal guy? Who knows?
Free agent.
There's been some names already, in that mix, but we won't get into that. We're not going to get into that today. Not today. But so that's it. I mean, go Miami. Cristobal, I believe, needs to let Dawson call those plays.
Right.
Cristobal is an incredible recruiter.
Yeah.
And maybe a very decent head coach, but not an OC.
Right.
Okay? Leave the play calling to the guy you hired
right.
to do the play calling. And that defense, oh my God. The most improved part of the team is that defense, and just keep your foot on the gas. Jason Taylor, keep doing what you're doing.
Great job.
Incredible job, Jason Taylor. Give that shout out. You got those boys going in the right direction. And I tell you one thing. I mean, personally, as a family, we've seen Jason Taylor coach Little League.
Yeah.
Right here with the Cooper City Colts and the Davie Broncos. And, we saw him move over to St. Thomas.
St. Thomas as a head coach.
And no, not as a head coach.
He wasn't the head coach?
No, he was just a defensive assistant coach. He wasn't even the defensive coordinator.
Oh.
Defense assistant coach. The head coach is Roger Harriet.
Okay.
For many, many, many years. But now moving on from St. Thomas to the University of Miami, that's the next step in his belt for coaching.
Yeah.
And, doing a great job. Obviously, one of the best D linemen to ever play the game. A D end, obviously an NFL Hall of Famer. But now coaching up these Miami kids to take in his footsteps. And I'm telling you, I don't think it's very long down the line to where you see him get that promotion to defensive coordinator somewhere in the NCAA Division I. And then maybe somewhere down the line, that guy head coaches.
Right.
I see it. He's motivated. He's he's passionate about it.
Yep.
And he's good. He's good. And what a recruiting tool when you're trying
of course.
When you're trying to pull D linemen from across the country.
Defense in general.
Hey, come play for Jason Taylor.
Yeah.
You're a D end? Oh, okay, Jason Taylor's your coach. Who's not going?
Yeah.
Who's not going to the U?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's positive. Without getting into the whole 2026 recruiting class, we're doing really good.
Yeah.
And we're flipping kids from other D1 programs, and we're flipping them.
Yeah.
And we've got 4 stars lined up. Okay? So, Cristobal, keep doing your recruiting. Let Shannon Dawson call the plays.
Yep.
And I think we're going to be all right. Let's plan next week. We'll review this again. And we'll do another Who Can Help the Hurricanes for the final week of the regular season.
Okay.
And, maybe we can help bring it home.
All right. Well, I gotta say, it's been great having you here on the podcast.
It was great to be here.
Long time coming.
Long time coming, and this is my first of many appearances.
Maybe sometime as the season progresses towards the playoffs, we can maybe talk some hockey, some Florida Panthers.
100% will change this jersey to the Panthers, and I am ready to go to talk hockey when that time comes. Right now, I'm focused on the U.
We're focused on the U. Like I said, great time having you on the podcast. Thanks again.
Good to be here.
All right, now let's get into our NFL recap and predictions. So for NFL Week 11, we had Thursday Night Football. Patriots beating the Jets 27-14. I mean, what else did we expect? Drake May is on an MVP run this season. He's doing insane. And the Jets suck, So, like I said, what do you expect? And look what happens when you actually let Travion Henderson run a bit. Pass the ball to him. Could actually, maybe score you some points. So I got that prediction right. Then we had my Super Bowl. Dolphins versus Commanders in Madrid, 9:30 in the morning. Glad I woke up so early to watch this shit show. Ended 16-13 in overtime. Dolphins winning, which I suspected. I would have rather the Commanders win because a fully healthy Commanders is better than a fully healthy Dolphins. So I would have rather the Commanders win, but the Dolphins won, so it's alright. Whatever. 16-13. Then we had the Steelers beating the Bengals 34-12. I mean, not even. Darnell Washington, who's a beast, who I said is a beast, from Georgia. He got drafted about 4 years ago from Georgia when they won the Natty. He had a breakout game, had 2 huge plays. Guy's a beast. Then you had the Jags beating the Chargers 35-6. I don't know what's going on with the Chargers. I don't know if it's players not being healthy, because I know the O-line's really not healthy at all. And that's why Herbert's not doing well, or if it's the play calling. I know the defense is pretty average, so, look how they were doing before. So it's either got to be the injuries to the O-line, Herbert, or the play calling, or just a mixture of both, or all three. But the Jags picked up a very strong win, 35-6. Then you had the Bills beating the Buccaneers in a very high-scoring game, 44-32. Bills won. Josh Allen had 6 touchdowns. Let me see. Josh Allen had 3 passing touchdowns and 3 rushing touchdowns. He's an animal. Tampa Bay's really struggling without Bucky Irving in the run game. They have been, but not this game. Sean Tucker, their 3rd-string running back, he ended up having 19 carries, 106 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He's their 3rd-string running back. It's usually Bucky, Rachaad White, then him. Bucky's injured, so it's Rachaad White and him. But he was doing better than Rachaad White, so they just kept running him. He had 2 really big runs. His longest run was 43 yards, so he's doing really good. I think Bucky's questionable to return this week, so I don't know if he will. If he will, now they have 3 good running backs. If he doesn't return, you got this guy, so not too big of a deal if he doesn't come back this week, and you don't want to rush it, Bears beating the Vikings 19-17. J.J. McCarthy just really hasn't been playing that good ever since his first game back. 16 for 32, a touchdown, 2 interceptions, 150 yards. The 1 touchdown, receiving touchdown was Jordan Addison, and the rushing touchdown Jordan Mason. Plus the 2 interceptions. I think the 2 interceptions were thrown. One was to Kevin Byard, and one was to this other guy. Hold on. Nashawn Wright, and he was praying for something after he caught the interception. It was all over red zone and stuff. After he caught the interception, ran to the touchdown and prayed. I forget what it was though. Then you had the Texans beating the Titans, and actually a pretty close game, 16-13. It was only close because C.J. Stroud wasn't playing. It was Davis Mills. If C.J. Stroud was playing, the game would be over. And I know I said before that at this point we might have to start blaming Cam Ward, but was I wrong? He actually did pretty good. 24 for 37, 194, touchdown, 0 interceptions. The run game is terrible. And the passing game might be even worse. Their number 1 receiver on the day was the tight end, Chiga Okonkwo. 3 receptions, 56 yards. Not crazy. Van Jefferson with the touchdown on 3 receptions for 22 yards. But there was a bunch of highlights during the game where Cam Ward was throwing the ball, and these receivers were either running the wrong route or just blatantly not catching the ball that's in their hands. So it's a combination of the O-line sucking and the receivers sucking. So I don't know which part was worse. Also, speaking of the Texans, just got news saying that Joe Mixon is out for the rest of the season. So then you had the Packers beating the Falcons in overtime, 30-27. This was probably game of the week for me. Bryce Young had a great game. I think it was 31-45. He went 31-for-45, 448 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Top receiver, Terratoa McMillan, 8 catches, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's a rookie doing that. So, good job on the rookie. Michael Penix started the game midway through the game, got an injury. Pretty sure he's out for the season. Bijan was carrying the team. He had 23 carries, 104 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah. Drake London, of course, lead receiving, 7 catches, 119 yards. Like I said, very close game, high-scoring game. Carolina won. Bryce Young probably put up his best performance he's ever had. Good for him. Then you had the Packers beating the Giants 27-20. Jordan Love has not been impressive at all. Last year, he was really good. At the start of this year, he was pretty good. And now he's in mid-season form. He's just not playing that good at all. He went 13-for-24, 2 touchdowns. Not really much to say. Giants, Jameis Winston started. He went 19-for-29, 201 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. And the receiving and the rushing was pretty lackluster on the Giants side. But something to note on the Giants, Cam Scadaboo, I mean, he's been all over the place. He was at UFC. He's streaming on Twitch now. He was at Monday Night Raw. Like, he's all over the place. So, yeah, good on Cam Scadaboo for not, like, just sitting at home being a couch potato. Like, he's chilling. Seahawks Rams 21-19. This was also a really good game. Good back and forth action from division rivals. Also, top 2 in the NFC, if I'm not mistaken, at the time that this game was top 2 in the NFC. Yeah, Rams just outplayed the Seahawks. I think it was really the pressure from the Rams defense. Sam Darnold just couldn't handle it. He wasn't playing that good of a game. Also, the Seahawks defense was just getting torched by the Rams offense, so that also didn't help at all. So, Seahawks, all in all, just had a really bad day. I don't know if it was just the Rams were playing great or the Seahawks were just playing shit. Not too sure what it was, but Rams come out with the win. Then you had the 49ers beating the Cardinals 41-22. Not much really to talk about. Although Jacoby Brissett did break a record in this game. He went 47-for-57 on 452 yards. He broke a record for most completions in a football game, NFL football game, with 47 completions. So, good record, broken by a pretty mid quarterback. They still lost, but yeah. It's crazy how you could throw 452 yards and have a completion percentage of 96 and still lose the game. I don't know. Then you had the Ravens beating the Browns 23-16. Shador Sanders played from the third and the fourth quarter. As Dylan Gabriel went out with an injury. I forget what the injury was. Shador didn't really play that good, but once again, the Ravens defense has really stepped up the past couple weeks. Also, he went in cold. He wasn't warmed up. Played the best that he could in a clutch situation. They were down. He had to play clutch. I'm not hating on him just yet. 4-for-16, 47 yards, and an interception. It's not great, but He's starting this upcoming week, so we'll see. Broncos beat the Chiefs 22-19. Not really much to talk about. Eagles beating the Lions 16-9. Honestly, not too sure what happened there. Think the Eagles' defense just really came to play. Cowboys beating the Raiders 33-16. Javonte Williams had a great game. Geno Smith is just playing absolute dog shit. I don't know what they're going to do when it comes to Geno Smith or that defense. That defense is horrendous. So, yeah. Alright, now let's get into our Week 12 predictions for NFL. Thursday Night Football, which is tonight. The podcast is coming out a day late. Bills versus Texans. Taking the Bills on that. Colts Chiefs. Colts. That's going to be a close game, I feel like. I could actually see the Chiefs winning. Steelers Bears. Go for the Bears here. They're actually close games so far. Patriots, Bengals, Patriots. Although Joe Burrow has been practicing the past 2 days and has been taking snaps with first team offense, could play. Still think the Patriots are going to win though. Jets, Ravens. I think they said Tyrod Taylor is starting this week. Jets need to figure out their quarterback situation for sure. Seahawks, Titans, Seahawks. Not really much to talk about there. It's pretty standard. Vikings, Packers. Neither teams have been playing that good, but I'm going to go Packers. I feel like they've been playing a bit better, and they're home. So we'll give Packers the home win. Versus the division rival Vikings. Giants, Lions, Lions, I meant. Yeah, that's pretty standard. Jags, Cardinals. That's actually a really close game. I'm going to go Cardinals. I feel like the Cardinals could pull out the win. Browns, Raiders. Both teams suck. I heard actually the Raiders wanted to draft Shador, so it might be like a little bit of a get-back game. I'm going to go Browns just because of the fact that I think they have a better team. And Geno Smith just sucks. Especially against that Browns defense. He's going to get tore up all game. Falcons, Saints. Falcons. Eagles, Cowboys. Cowboys are 4-5-1. Eagles are 8-2. Eagles should wipe the floor with them. But it's home in Dallas. So like I said, a lot of these games could go either way. I pick the Eagles though. Buccaneers versus Rams. Another really good game. This is going to be Sunday Night Football. Dolphins are on a bye week this week. Dolphins and the Commanders are on a bye week this week. So I at least have 1 week without having to watch both my teams play like shit. So let me get the Rams here. After that win against the Seahawks, I don't really see the Rams losing to many other teams. And the Buccaneers not being one of them. Then Monday Night Football. I'm not sure why this is Monday Night Football. Could be a good game. I don't think so. Panthers, 49ers. Christian McCaffrey is going against his old team, but the 49ers are home, so I'm going to go 49ers. I really do want the Panthers to do good, but I just think the 49ers are going to win this game. Now let's get into some NHL. Starting off with the Panthers, we are 10-8-1. We currently have 21 points. Tonight we're going against the New Jersey Devils. Currently the game has not started yet. right now we're, everyone knows we're dealing with a lot of injuries, both on offense and on defense, having a lot of guys sub in. Also, dealing with injuries, our goalie play hasn't really been that good. Bob nor Tarasov have really been playing all that well. So that's really been a struggle for us as well. Marchand, Reinhardt have really been really the goal scorers for us, putting up points. Rodriguez has been making plays a lot the past few games. He's been making shit happen. Same with Jones. A lot of these guys, a lot of these veterans. Let's get into our conferences. East, starting off, we have Carolina, 28 points. New Jersey, who we're playing tonight, with 27 points. Detroit Red Wings, 25. Pittsburgh Penguins, 24. New York Islanders, 24. Boston, 24. Montreal, 23. Tampa Bay, 22. And for the West, leading the NHL, Colorado with 31. Anaheim with 27. Dallas with 27. Winnipeg with 24. Chicago with 24. Vegas with 24. LA with 24. And Minnesota with 24. So that's really it for hockey. Like I said, Colorado not only winning the West, but they're number one in the entire league with 31 points. Like I said last week with the underdogs, I feel like Minnesota has really been doing good. Kirill Kaprizov, he's been underwhelming since he got that new contract. The Anaheim Ducks have really been doing good. Help from Joe Quenneville, of course. Really hoping that young team get put together. Young and new team. A lot of new players on that team. A lot of young players on that team. I think Quenneville's doing a great job. Then with the East Islanders, of course, they got their rookie, Matthew Schaefer. He's doing great. And Montreal, they're always in the top. What's interesting for me is Pittsburgh Penguins. I didn't think they'd be towards the top of the East at all, really. But they're at 24. They're fourth in the East, tied with Islanders and Boston. But this is the East. This is what they look like with the Panthers not being healthy and also playing like shit. So the East is really getting a good break right now. Once 2026 hits, we get a lot of these guys back. We're gonna tear it up. And I'm sure we'll end top 5 or 3 in the East for sure. Let's get into some fantasy hockey. Then we'll go into some fantasy football, of course. Fantasy hockey got the win against Dale last week. 4-2. And my top scorer for the week was Sam Reinhart, 10.7 points. The Panthers really went crazy last week. So that was it. And right now I'm currently winning 58.6 to 53. Really close game. All of my players are playing tonight, so this should be that should end up being 80-something to 87 by the end of the night. Going into fantasy football, I lost last week. I'm currently 5-6. I'm tied for 4th place. Going in, I have this week, one more week, and then it's playoffs. So I need to win this week, and I need to win next week, and hopefully I can earn my spot in the playoffs. This week I think I'll win. The guy I'm going against is 3rd worst in the league, and the guy who I'm tied with for 4th place is going against Dale. Dale's had a really good team this year. I think they're 7-3, I believe. They're 7-4. So I'm hoping Dale should win. My top score last week was Shamir Gibbs, 19.6 points. Even though the Lions played like shit and didn't come out with the win, Shamir Gibbs still found a way to put points up on the board for fantasy and for the Lions. Alright, that's been it for the Morningwood podcast. Thanks for watching. Like I said, we will see him on the podcast again. I'm sure we will. Thanks for watching. Remember, like, follow, share, subscribe. Watch our clips on TikTok at Morningwood Podcast, and on Instagram for updates at Morningwood Podcast, the same thing. And hope to see you guys next week. Stay classy.